Greg, would you be willing to talk about your workflow process and what you are you doing most of your designing, or do you have a designer helping you, or a team set up, or
Sure thing.
how does that look, or how does that work for you?
Yeah. So like I said, I've had that sort of pivotal milestone 2 weeks ago when I hit tier 500, which you mentioned earlier was a turning point for you. So up until that point, I'd say about 95% of my designs were my own. I knew I was thinking ahead. I knew that I'd eventually need to start outsourcing some of the workload because the amount of daily uploads that you get, there's no way I could do that all myself. So in the run up to hitting 500, I did some testing of different design websites, what worked for me, what I could use to easily find people, tested out like Fiverr, Upwork. So I used a designer for one or two designs before tier 100, but it was mainly me up until that. Now I've hit 500 and I can do 50 of those a day. I'm testing at the moment. I'm using 4 separate designers at the same time to do designs for me. So I've given 4 designers 10 design each to do. I'm kind of testing them, see which ones do good quality of work, which ones are going to drop off, and I'm trying to find multiple reliable designers that I can sort of go on, like rely on in the future moving forwards. So I'm definitely looking now for a more sort of collaborative, outsourced approach to merch, whereas before it was just me doing stuff in Photoshop. And yeah.
That's all. I love the approach of giving them the 10 designs. I mean, Shannon, you have a little bit more experience in that than I have, but I found, you go through 10 designers and you find one that is just, they're going to take care of you and you take care of them. And that's the only way to find it. It's just a numbers game. So I don't know where you're finding candidates, Greg, but if you haven't tried Behance, like cold emailing people whose portfolios you like on Behance is actually awesome. It's not a commercial site. That's a tip that one of our past guests, Blake, had. And
great.
Yeah, it's really cool because you're like, hey, because you can look at their style and you can see if they're doing shirts and you can sort by country. But I like Behance for that. I've heard people have success with onlinejobs.ph. Upwork is good for just the validation that they're going to take care of you. And then my price point per design worked out to be like between $3 and $4. What was your approach to finding?
I found a forum post somewhere on the recesses of the internet, and it basically had a template job posting that you could use, and that was saying to aim for, I think it was saying to aim for $2.50. So I put this up on Upwork. So I'm using Upwork at the moment. I tried onlinejobs.ph and I didn't use them, and I can tell you about that later if you want. But yeah, at the moment I'm using Upwork. The designers that I had in the past before I got to tier 500, I ended up having to pay them $3. But now I've managed to get that down to $2.50. So that's my price point at the moment.
Dang, I got to take some negotiating tips from you. I thought I was good, man.
I mean,
I'm getting hosed.
The quality is good. I mean, the designs that I'm making sales off the designs already. I've only been using them, for the last week or so, and it's definitely, I'm getting proof of return. I tried using Fiverr in the past, but I obviously know the prices in the name. The minimum cost you can get there is $5, and usually because people put their lowest quality of work at the $5 mark, and then you're expected to pay $10, $15. So I quickly moved away from Fiverr. I just found that if you use Upwork, promise them the potential of ongoing work, people are happy to work around the $2.50, $3 mark per design. Yeah. How about are you paying like $3, $4 as well, or?
Yeah. So I have.
Oh man, this is going to be embarrassing for me. You guys are going to tell me how much money you save. But go for it, Shannon.
Yeah. So I pay. Let's see here, $5 for 3 designs.
Wow.
To one of my designers, and then a couple of other ones I have on an hourly basis at $2 an hour, and I figured I wanted to kind of see the difference, like if there was one, and I found that it works pretty well. I mean, it's like, they're able to, I asked them to put 10 designs, upload 10 designs. I want 10 designs a day, basically, from each one. And so, the hourly ones, they get all 10 designs done pretty much in 8 maybe 10 hours. So it's it's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like in the
That's
context
cheap.
of paying that much, and I think Shannon, you